Welcome, I'm Colin Meidel from LOL Fit, and today I'm going to be walking you through your hero workout. For this workout, we're going to try to complete this in 20 minutes. If it takes you longer than 20 minutes, that's all right. You can cut it off at 20 or feel free to keep going if you wish. We're going to have 5 different workout sets in this exercise. It's going to be a progression. We're going to first start with burpees. Burpees is going to transition into burpees and push-ups. From there, burpees, push-ups, lunges, burpees, push-ups, lunges, sit-ups, and you get the idea. Burpees, push-ups, lunges, sit-ups, and air squats to complete this overall challenge. Now they're going to increase in repetitions each time, 10 burpees to 20 push-ups, 30 lunges to 40 sit-ups, finally ending with 50 air squats. Now I'm going to go over the form for each of these individual exercises so you know how to complete them properly. For our burpees, we're going to have 2 variations. The intense burpee, we're going to first drop our hands down, kick our feet back, come together, and explode up into a bounce. Now a little bit faster, you're going to want to also make sure we keep our core engaged when we're bouncing back. So go down, back, up, and exploding up, and that's going to be 10 repetitions. Now as a modification for those burpees, instead we have the touchdown, step back, step forward, and up. That's going to be low impact on the joints. Or again, at the top, feel free to give a little bit of a bounce or a jump if you wish. Make sure as we're going down, in this position here, we're keeping our core engaged, so we don't want to be overly dropping down our hips or pushing our hips up. Keep the core engaged, drive that belly button to the chin before we step or jump back together. When we go into our push-ups, a few different variants here. For our push-ups, 20 repetitions. We have our standard push-up, hands directly under our shoulders. We want our elbows to flare 45 to 60 degrees from the side, coming down, keeping that core engaged, and pressing up. As a modification, we can drop down to our knees. The second modification for our push-ups, if we've exhausted how many push-ups we can do on our toes or our knees, is going to be a chest press. If we have household objects that roughly weigh the same weight or dumbbells at home, if we come around, control that descent onto our back, our chest press, keep that core engaged, grab those dumbbells, make sure we set our shoulders, engage that core, and exhale as we press that weight up, controlling the descent. That's going to be the second modification for our push-up. Now moving on to our third set, again, it's going to be burpees, push-ups. This time we're going to add on lunges. For those lunges, right and left is going to count as 1. We're going to be taking that step out, pushing back, out, and back as 1. If you have a little bit more space, feel free to turn that into a walking lunge, where you walk, step together, and walk, step together again. Right and left is 1. As a modification for our lunge, we're going to turn that into a controlled squat. For that, it's going to be an air body weight squat, which we're going to see for our last exercise, but again, that's going to be a modification for those lunges if we have trouble in our hips or our knees. If you are doing the modified lunges into a squat early, we're going to double the repetitions there. So instead of doing 30 lunges, we're going to turn that into 60 air squats, because otherwise we're doing a lunge on both the right and the left, keeping that core engaged, making sure our knee doesn't go over our toe. And for our air squat, similar. Want our feet shoulder width apart, engage those shoulders, set those core, make sure we're hinging the hips back as we come into the squat, and those knees are staying back behind our toes before we exhale with that press up. When we come to our fourth round, that's going to be 10 burpees, 20 push-ups, 30 lunges, and 40 sit-ups. Now for our sit-ups, a few modifications here as well. Start out, if you can, doing as many sit-ups as possible, hands on the shoulders, and come into that full sit-up for as many repetitions as you can for those 40 reps. Now, modification number 1, using the arms as a little bit of momentum to help us get up into that full sit-up. Once we've exhausted how many sit-ups we can do, we can turn them into standard crunches. Just trying to get our shoulders up as high as we can, fully engage our core. That's going to be the modification for our sit-ups. Then moving on to the last Cycle number 5, the last transition, 5 burpees, 20 push-ups, 30 lunges, 40 sit-ups. Finally, we get to the 50 air squats. Here, keep the feet shoulder width apart. Again, set those shoulders. Make sure we're hinging our hips back. Squat as low as we can within our natural range of motion. You don't have to force anything that's not there. But again, make sure those knees don't exceed over our toes. Think about hinging our hips back as we sit down and pressing back up. Again, 50 air squats. For the overall motion of this, please rest when you need and also take water breaks when you need. It's gonna be an intense workout, so take it at a pace that suits you, but is also challenging. You wanna complete number 1 and then go 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's gonna complete the challenge. You can record your time down, or again, if you don't complete it in 20 minutes, you can end up recording how many exercises you did get through in 20 minutes. Great work.